I'm gonna check this stream out. I got my phone on right now just to see if I really go live and see if I got volume. This is my song though. I wrote it, recorded it, and played all the instruments. Alright, I should be live, but my phone thinks I'm not. That's a 33-second delay. So I'm going to hold on. Sorry for this live troubleshooting, but necessary. Oh. So I'm going to hold on. Sorry for this. All right, we're good to go. And I got to self-promo my song. That song is 20-something years old. I think like 22 years old. I made a rock and roll rap song 22 years ago. Jeez Louise. I was probably wearing a wife beater back then. Oh, Lord. So, those who were with me before for the last couple, I'm covering the business combination. I got to get my head back in the game. And the strategic partnership and everything in between TMTG, MCGA, crypto.com, Chronos, all that stuff. And just to let you know, we are post, this is September 18th. We are post the first Federal Reserve cut. It was 0.25 percent, 25 basis points. So, blah, blah, blah. Way too late, way too little. But it didn't have any effect on the markets. I'm having trouble getting my head in the game right now. Buy my book. I put a link in the description, and now I put a link in the chat. So there it is. I need money for better equipment. I need money for more than a $10 webcam. Although for $10, this webcam lasted 3 years, so got my money's worth, but it looks shitty. So do that thing I just said. Yorkville slowly climbing up. Yorkville is MCGA, which is the Trump Media Group Crow strategy. MCGA, the Trump Media Group Crow strategy, is Yorkville Acquisition Corp. They are the same thing. So right now, Yorkville Acquisition Corp, which was designed as a SPAC, SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company, it's a holding, like a placeholder that, hey, I'm this right now, but I will become something later. I wasn't following Roseanne. What the heck is wrong with me? So once the business combination, which I defined that in our earlier shows, but the business combination is the big deal. That's the deal part. The whole number we were given was $6.42 billion deal. $5 billion of that is the business combination, which isn't closed yet. It's in the process of closing. They'll announce it for sure because down here, this is mcga.com, very good website it is the official website. They give you announcements, but it's been over a week since we got anything, and it gives you links to all the other things and all their announcements. This is like the home base for what the heck is going on, but they'll probably give an announcement. They've been very good on their time giving announcements, which is like weeks behind what I want, but whatever. So when the business combination is officially closed, Yorkville Acquisition Group, where it says this right here, it will say Trump Media Group Crow Strategy. So Yorkville, which is a SPAC now, will be an ETF, electronically transferred fund. I don't know what you call it. It's going to be a treasury. It's going to be America's Kronos treasury, but I don't know, a digital asset treasury. Maybe that's what it's going to become. Like, like its official term of what it's defined as. But it will be Yorkville Acquisition Corp. That name will go away. It will not be a SPAC anymore. It will be Trump Media Group Crow Strategy, traded on the NASDAQ, hopefully NASDAQ Texas only. We'll see. I'll go into that. That's speculation, so let me just stick to the facts for right now. It is traded on, TMTG is traded on NASDAQ Texas. It was the very first company listed. That's cool. So, yeah, this will go away. Yorkville Corp will go away. It'll be called Trump Media Group Crow Strategy. If no other announcements, that's when we will know that the business combination is closed. The $5 billion from Yeely Pin to Yorkville, which is going to actually be to Trump Media now, the $5 billion will be available. And that's the close of the business combination. And that's when the rubber hits the road. So that's what I'm looking for. I check every day MCGA for the announcements. I check for just any information possible. Check for a rise in Crow because that would indicate something's happening. Check for a rise in MCGA Class A stock. That would indicate. Check for something happening in DJT stock. That would indicate something. But they've been really good at doing press announcements just to get the buzz going. Them and Chris over at crypto.com, all of them have been really good. But they've been really good at getting out information when it's time. But radio silent for for about 8 days. Well, exactly 8 days. So Kronos, it's just bouncing. What do they call it? Side chop. I'm learning all these technical terms and or industry terms, whatever they're called, slang terms. So it's just doing side chop where it's oscillating up and down sideways, waiting for something to happen. They call it consolidating to a point. So the chops get littler and littler and littler to a point. That's when something happens, either very up or very down. And if you're familiar at all with crypto, we are in alt season, which is basically altcoin season. Anything except the top couple coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe Solana, something like that. Those are the main, the big bosses. This is alt season, and there's videos on YouTube to cover that, so I don't need to cover that. So that's exciting. So things like Pepe, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, stuff like that could pump in the next couple months. So what I really want to talk about is I don't want to move anything. Does that make it better? That do. So everybody that has held DJT, which is Trump Media, TMTG, Trump Media and Technology Group, for the last 4, maybe 5 years, has been on a roller coaster ride. Look at this. $97. That's when I first sold out. I caught it. I was at like 94. I got in it at 12 or 14, and I got out at 92. So I did good there, and then I bought back in. And then I had to sell because I was unemployed around 50, around here. So didn't want to, had to. That was that last year. Yeah. So now I got a good job, so I don't have to sell anymore. But yeah, this is when they shut it down. They I don't know, it was the SEC, somebody, the banks, they froze it. They said you cannot buy anymore. It's too volatile. Shut it down. All you could do is sell, and they just drove the price down. And something which I'm going to speculate about what that is. Something is just driving it into the dirt. And then what about right here? Somewhere around this area, we could go last year. So I don't know the exact date on this. So somewhere around here, a couple months ago, maybe even 6 months ago, TMTG bought what $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin just to sit on, and that went up. So what happened there? Nothing. So something is artificially drowning this stock. Um, and those who've been in the DJT game long enough know exactly what that is. It's naked short selling, it's market manipulation. Something evil, something unjust is causing this to stay way, way too low. In my opinion, way over 100, way, way over 250. Like, and I'm bullish on it, so but it was going to skyrocket to over 100. This is when they shut it down. Get to the thing. Oh, that's in the last couple days or last year. It skyrocketed to 100, and they just shut it down. They cut it off. No, you cannot do this good. No way, no way. And that panicked people. And remember back then, 2020 through 24, we just found out documents that the whole of the government was weaponized against anybody who was MAGA, anybody who was American first. There was 92 companies that were targeted by the government. That just came out in Kash Patel's hearing yesterday and the day before. Targeted manpower, investigations, an attempt to destroy companies and businesses and organizations related to America first. That came out. That's fact. It happened. That's that's RICO. That's treason. Let's go. So that happened. So all the information is coming out now that there was a massive conspiracy to defraud DJT stockholders by the government, funded by the government, funded by hedge funds, dark money. We're finding Soros and his kid are getting wrapped up in a RICO now. Antifa is a terrorist group. Like, that's all connected. That's all the same thing, and it all centers around TMTG. Basically, everything around the world centers around TMTG. It's either like an analog for what's happening to your bank account, to your 401k. It's an analog to what's happening in your streets, where you get the human poop smeared with drug needles on the ground, smeared on the BLM signs that taxpayer money paid for. It's an analog for all of that. That is happening for the same reason DJT is artificially being held low. It's all the same group, all the same money, all the same evil. And they're squirming now, and that's dangerous. That's good, but it's dangerous. So be careful out there. Evil is, it's like when you destroy a Horcrux, Voldemort gets very dangerous. I got that from some documentary I watched about a wand maker or something. So, some ideas are going around. How do we keep them from artificially pulling this down, because it's naked shorting? And I understand the basics of naked shorting, so I won't try to explain it very well. Um, but you could look that up yourself. It's just it's all the rewards with none of the risks. You don't have to buy the stock, you don't have to own it. You could just short it without owning it somehow. I don't fully understand. And if it goes down, you get a bunch of money. If it goes up, you didn't never had the stock, so you don't lose anything. So it's illegal, but that's what I believe is happening. And GameStop just did a thing where they're going to issue warrants. So they only issue warrants to certified shareholders. So anybody shorting GameStop now that doesn't have a warrant, immediately eyeballs on all of them. Like, what are you doing? How are you doing that? You don't have a stock. So that's, I think it was last week or the week before that just happened. So keep an eye on GameStop. GME is the ticker, and see what they have to say, or see how they react to that. I don't think the warrants have been issued yet. I haven't been following that too close. I just like that idea. So there was news. TMTG is, or I think it's MCGA. I cut this picture too close. And I don't feel like researching it today, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, research it yourself. But I'm just doing the TLDR, doing the broad strokes of where we're at. But if something new happens, I'll cut that video, and that one I'll go deep into the research. This is just like a nothing happened. I'm just touching base. Here's where we're at, la ti da. So I'm just going over stuff that happened last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 5 years ago, just to like situate. Here's where we are. No news right now. Just this is where we're at, and I think that's a good thing to do. So I think it's either TMTG or I think or MCG. Well, MCGA is not a thing yet, so it had to be TMTG. Uh, oh, True Social, yeah. So TMTG, Trump Media and Technology Group Corporation. See, this was DWAC, Digital World Acquisition, which was a SPAC, a Special Purpose Acquisition Corporation company. Uh, then when its ticker was DJT, then when it went live, it changed from DWAC to Trump Media and Technology Group. That's the same thing that's going to happen to Yorkville. It's going to change over to Trump Media Group Crow Strategy. So same thing is happening, same playbook. And every company, every country in the world is copying this, is copying what TMTG did 5 years ago. They're all copying it. And still, it's going, the stock is going down. Buy $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, stock plummets. Announce that you're partnering with one of the biggest crypto chains and ecosystems, stock plummets. Just everything and everything and everything, doing it perfect and correctly, stock plummets. Something's fucky. So TMTG's announced 5 ETFs, electronic transferable funds. They're traded like stock. It's like crypto traded as stock, is what I understand it right now. And it's a basket of different things traded as one, like oops, oh no. Oh, shut up, everything. Shut up, computer. So Yorkville is an ETF, but it's just one crypto, Kronos. So a lot of ETFs have a bunch of different cryptos in them. And if you like all of those cryptos, you buy that ETF and it's traded on the stock exchange. If you think all of them are going up, you buy that ETF, and that's a multiplier. So cool idea, and it's less risky for people who are like, oh, crypto, isn't that a weird thing that doesn't exist actually? So it's like dipping your toes into crypto. Like I told my family, like they're like, oh, I want to get into crypto. I've been hearing a lot about it. It's like, you own DJT? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you're into crypto. TMTG just bought $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. They just did a $6.42 billion deal with Kronos. You're in Bitcoin. And so True Social did their gyms. That's part of the strategic partnership, which is the smaller part of the business combination. Some people aren't involved in the business combination that are involved in the strategic partnership. And I went into that on another video. So enjoy. Search and enjoy. Oh, that's a good topic for something. Instead of search and destroy. Search and enjoy. Or it's not. True Social, American Icon ETFs. Oh, just these names are just so good. So with GME, GameStop issuing these warrants, I don't know if they have or not yet, but they announced they will, or they're planning to. TMTG could do something like that because through the partnership with the 1972 exchange, the ETFs apply a screening process. So I had to look up screening process. So one of the definitions is it's a filtered of 1,000 ETFs, thousands of ETFs. It One of it you're filtering out what assets you want. So that's like choosing which things you are going to skyrocket and pump. Excuse me, I didn't eat breakfast yet. So which assets you think are going to do good, get all those together. That's the ETF you want. That's one screening process. Another is from the I saw it earlier. Bottom up investors. It helps screen out non-investors. It helps the top down investors and the bottom up investors. So it helps screen out non-investors. That's my reading of it. My post was, is this true? Like, can these ETFs be used as dividends given to validated shareholders, in order to filter out naked shorts? Can this, if you don't have one of these ETFs and you can't buy them online, they're not, maybe some of them won't be listed on the NASDAQ or whatever, or even if they are, you have to have some of these. I don't know. I don't know. See, I'm just learning about this, but it has to be something that's only available if you bought a TMTG share. You buy a TMTG share, you get this warrant or this ETF, and that's the only way to get this thing. And it's like, and it's non fungible. Like it's each thing, each warrant, each ETF is stamped and linked to a specific share. So somebody can't just like, photocopy it or yeah, say like, hey, this is mine. You're like, no, that one's mine and it's registered to this person. Something, something. Can that happen? I think something like that should happen. Is this an avenue of how it could happen? Let's dig deep. Let's find out. Let me know. I'm I'm just asking the questions. I know we need something that only allows shareholders to manipulate the stocks. That's what I want. That's what I want. Something, a validation. We need a validation mechanism, and I think it could be these ETFs or warrants or something like that. Let's go. So that's something I'm looking into, keeping an eye on. If you know anything about it, post on my Twitter in the link or whatever, and let me know. CJ Butcher Ipsy on X. Let me know, and we can figure this shit out because I'm not new to this, but I'm going deeper into it. I want to become a master at it. I want to know the ins and outs. I want to know how to mine Bitcoin. I don't know how to do that. I know it's a little machine and it uses graphic cards, and I got a bunch of graphic cards that I'm not using. I got a computer graveyard that I want to convert into Bitcoin mining farm, and so I want to learn how to do that. Let's go. Let's build a community on how to get off this Federal Reserve note that will drop to zero for the fourth time. This is the fourth turning. Every 80 years, the Federal Reserve banks has to do something very big and very deadly to reset the fiat currency. Every 80 years. So and we killed the Federal Reserve twice already. This is the third Federal Reserve. I want Trump to go for the hat trick. That's my opinion, and I'm rooting for it. Very bullish. Hat trick the Federal Reserve. Fiat currency will always go to zero. Inflation will always go to infinity. Now, if inflation goes to infinity, Kronos goes to near infinity. I'm okay with that. If it's $10,000 for a cup of coffee, Kronos will go up to billions and billions. Well, I'll take 2 cups of coffee. Here's my 20,000 Kronos. Have a nice day. So it's just stepping off the boat. The Federal Reserve, Antifa, all that whole noise on the left, the poop smeared in the streets, the drug needles, the homeless, all that social engineered noise is in one boat. We're just stepping off the boat. It's a parallel boat. We've been building it for years, 10 years more. So they're destroying their boat. They're like, hey, if you say anything bad about us, we'll shoot holes in this boat. We stepped off the boat. We're on another boat. We're like, that's a bad thing to do, but do what you want. We'll destroy our city. We'll blow up our own buildings. We're over here building new buildings. I don't think you should do that, but we're over here buying houses and building pools. Like, maybe you should try that. So inflation will go to infinity. The value of the dollar will go to zero. This is the fourth time a dollar, the value of the Federal Reserve note will go to zero. This is the fourth time it happened. Every 80 years it happens. That's how long they could that's how long they could keep resuscitating their dying carcass of their fiat currency is 80 years. Then it flatlines. Then they have to do something big. 80 years ago, World War II, that's pretty big. Stuff like that. Go back 80 years before that. Go back 80 years before that. There's only one way to resuscitate the carcass and restart it, and that's shake the chessboard, flip the table over. We're getting off the game board. We're getting off the table. They can shake the table all they want. We are not there anymore. That's the whole point of crypto. That is it's a better currency. It's a non-fiat currency. It won't go to zero. Inflation won't go to infinity. Can't be manipulated. Can't just print off pallets of cash and send them to Iraq in warehouses. Can't do 9/11 because the Pentagon lost $2.3 trillion. Can't lose $2.3 trillion. We would be able to track it on crypto. You can't do false flags. You can't do terror events. You can't bring pallets of bricks everywhere that BLM and Antifa are going to riot and put pallets of bricks on the corner so they have projectiles to throw. You can't do that with crypto. We would track you. Like, who's this person buying? Why are pallets of bricks going there? What is this? What is going on over here? Why is this account paying for pallets of bricks and paying for rioters? That's where I'm at. I think crypto is a hedge against fiat. Inevitably, always, every time, this is the fourth time inflation went to infinity. Now we have a weapon. It's called crypto. Inflation goes to infinity, crypto just smiles. You can't prove your work. We proved our authority, proved our work. We got it. And I'm not a master at this, not financial advice. I'm just learning as I go, trying to figure it out, trying to show information that I cannot find on the web. No videos of this. Once people start putting out videos of this, analyzing it, putting the whole thing together, some anons or whatever, maybe I'll just sit back and drink a coffee and watch their videos. I'll bet you it'll be better quality. Let's go. So these ETFs are on the way this year. I think there'll be but where was it? It's going to be NYSE ARCA. I don't know what that is. It's the New York Stock Exchange, but ARCA. Haven't heard of that. Gotta research it. Let's go. Um, so yeah. So a screening process. That's my key term. It's a screening process. 9 to 5ers checking crypto at 3 a.m. to see if they have to go to work. Have done. Can confirm. All right. Does the click make it big? Yes. Click makes big. All right. So this is a nice little graph about the Wall Street cheat sheet. And there's other graphs I posted and I showed on my other videos: 2017, 2021, now 2025, alt seasons. Everything is predicting that 2025 will be a massive alt season. And that's not guaranteed, that's just a prediction. All the arrows are pointing towards up. And this is the usual normal graph of the psychology of the market. When you're this is what normally happens. And as you can see, what's normally happening to us is almost identical. And the peak of euphoria is October 2025. Next month is the peak. Is the prediction of the peak. Is the normal cycle would be next month. 2017, exactly. 2021, exactly. 2025, looking like exactly. Huge to the moon green candles. It's just a guess. It's a but it's a convergence of data. All of the data is pointing towards one thing. Green candle to the moon. And that's great news, but the scary thing is that's when you destroyed the Horcrux. That's when the Voldemorts that we're fighting, that's when the deep state in America, the good twin, evil twin of every country, that's when they're most dangerous because they have to cause something worldwide to stop this, to reset their fiat, and to tip the table over. They have to do something like that. So you see in Russia, they're denazifying Ukraine, kicking the Azov battalion out of Ukraine. The Nazis in NATO, all of them are being taken out systematically. And you see it worldwide. The deep states, the evil twins of every country are being destroyed. The terrorist groups are being defunded. Let's go. So, and you'll know that Trump, America first, the sovereign alliance, China, Russia, America, all of that, you'll know it's true and it's real and it's successful when the table doesn't get flipped. If there's not a huge World War III, if that doesn't happen in the next couple of years, that's how you know we won. We destroyed Voldemort when the world doesn't end. There'll be other signs as well. The golden age. I was thinking this last night. I'm just developing it into just kind of a thought. MAGA, America First, all of us, we want a golden age. We don't want poop and needles in our streets. We don't want homeless walking around peeing on buildings, breaking windows. We don't want that. Overdosing everywhere. That's not what we want when we go out shopping Saturday. Go for an evening down the boulevard. We can't walk down the streets. Your scooters get stolen. My scooter got stolen a couple of years ago. So we want good things, a place where you could take families down the street and people wave at you as they're sitting out on the patio of restaurants, like good things. And so what kind of person would be able to survive and help a golden age? An environment where it's safe for families. It's safe for people to walk down the street at night, everywhere, anytime. It would take a moral and ethical person, and more and more and more. I'm not a religious person, but the fruits of the spirit. It would need that. So, what would make that type of person? How do you become that type of person? Is it possible? Well, what MAGA went through, this fake, imposterous gaslighting that MAGA went through the past 5-10 years, having the whole weight of the federal government, the FBI, everybody targeted against you. Soccer moms talking to school boards saying, hey, do not teach my kids porn anymore. The FBI labels the soccer mom a terrorist, and the soccer mom does not go out and riot and blah, 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 because she has a family. She needs to get groceries. She doesn't have time to be on the streets throwing bricks through windows, doesn't want to do that. She is being refined into something that could exist in a golden age. You see, current news, the people laughing at Charlie Kirk, they would not thrive in a golden age. That's not something that they would like to see. Like, they want to destroy, for some reason, I call it social engineering. Naomi Wolf calls it exquisitely refined psychological warfare. They have been systematically dismantled and put together like pronouns. Pronouns are for gender, and all pronouns are for inanimate, well, not pronouns, but gender is for inanimate objects. Living creatures have sexes. Inanimate objects have gender. Der, die, das, conjugation. A lot of people on the left, the pronoun brigades, which was an intelligence test to see how well they were put back together after they were dismantled by brainwashing. Anybody who adopt pronouns, I'm talking about you. You have, if you adopted a pronoun, you have self-identified as an inanimate object. I'm just saying, I don't think you should do that. I think you're an individual. I think you're a sovereign individual bestowed by your creator with inalienable rights and the pursuit of happiness. But you have decided that you are a inanimate object with a gender. You are a human being with a sex. So I suggest, I did videos on to fight brainwashing. It's not one and done. Like cutting your hair. You don't cut it once in your life. You're like, sweet, I got my hair cut. Mowing your lawn is what I used a lot. You have to mow your lawn weekly. You have to cut your hair, 2 weeks, whatever. You have to fight brainwashing daily. Every second you have to fight brainwashing. Here's a clue. It feeds on emotion. It's called trauma-based mind control. Experienced any trauma lately? Has the entire world experienced any trauma in the last week that caused some people to react really oddly? Yes, we have. That's trauma-based mind control. Public execution, public assassinations. That's the social engineering, trauma-based mind control. That's how you brainwash a population. Certain members of a population. So it would take a certain individual to be able to not emotionally react, to not go out in the streets and grab those pallets of bricks that were dropped off and throw them through windows. It would take a very special person to not do that. To sit and think, use the Socratic method. What is going on here? I'm angry. I understand that I'm angry. Why am I angry? What should I do about my anger? No, go out to the street, dye your hair blue, cut your dick off, throw bricks through windows. That's the type of person that cannot exist in a golden age. They cannot have good things because they decided to not think, to not use the Socratic method, to not use the scientific method. Why am I always getting pushed towards anger? Why do they always want me to react violently? Why is the news so flashy and bright lights everywhere, and they cover all these things and tell me all this weird stuff that makes me angry all the time? Why would they want me to be angry all the time? That's a smart person who does that. That's a wise, intelligent, sovereign person who does that. Socratic method. So it would take a special person to live in a golden age. It would take a kind, an ethical, a moral person. You find a wallet on the ground, that's not your wallet. You have to find out whose wallet that is. Imagine that in New York City. If all the people, it's like, hey, I found a wallet, everyone stops and like, hey, did you guys lose a wallet? Anybody lose a wallet? And it's a group of, instead of mobbing and hitting elderly people and overdosing in the street, they're all trying to find out who the wallet's owner is. That's a golden age. It takes a special person to live in a world like that. Let's do that. Come on, let's go. And so being MAGA for the last 10 years is the exact way you can be refined into a special person like that, not reacting to people saying the worst things about you, not reacting to a government labeling you as a domestic white nationalist terrorist for a soccer mom going to a school board meeting telling them not to teach their kids porn anymore. The FBI comes to your house and now you're a terrorist, according to them in 2020 to 2024. That's not a golden age. That's not heading towards a golden age. The soccer moms who did that, who did not riot, who continued to head towards the golden age, are the type of people you want in a functioning society. Because, spoiler alert, we are not in a functioning society. We are an extremely degrading society. With the fiat currency, we're heading back to zero. Fiat currencies always go to zero. Fiat currencies always go to infinite inflation too. Why not? And this is the fourth time it happened. It's the fourth turning every 80 years. So that's what I wanted to say. And so stay hodl, diamond hands. What they say, history doesn't rhyme, or history doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. So altcoin season 2021 around September, 2017 October 25, they're looking very similar, they're rhyming. I see I just lost a person in the viewership. I went on a rant. Free speech, my friends. And it's okay to disagree. Imagine that. It is okay to not have the same opinions as me. You don't have to have my opinions. Whoa. But both of us who disagree could still try to find the owner of the wallet if we find one on the floor. We both agree on that. Like, hey, we should try to find whoever lost this wallet. They're having a shitty day because they don't have a wallet. Let's find out whose this is. We could help find the wallet, high five, and still disagree. That's a golden age. That's what MAGA is fighting for. 80% of America, 80+% of the world is fighting for a golden age. If you think it's a 50-50 country, you're completely brainwashed. Turn off ABC, turn off CNN, turn off Fox. You've been misled, my friend. It is not a 50-50 country, never has been. The wacky liberals have always been 10 to 20%. It's always been ethical, moral people trying to steer this country. It takes big groups of big money to derail it. Stay frosty. Let's head towards this golden age. Let's help our community. Let's teach each other. That's what I'm here doing. I don't have the answers. I have opinions and I have questions. Let's go. And this is the information I'm finding. 2025 looks like 2021, looks like 2017. Let's go. Hodl. So go do the thing. Computer. Whatever. Just the computer. All right. So that was a nice rant. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Antifa's a terrorist group. I was getting spammed Antifa flags because I posted that yesterday. It's like, holy shit, you guys. You probably, a normal person wouldn't mess around like that. The find out part is what you should be thinking about. But wow. Yeah. I was going through my. I posted a lot last night. I couldn't get to sleep. That's it. To the moon, baby. So yeah, Trump's starting. I think it's the 18th. It might be today. Holy shit! Today, Trump's Bitcoin ETF might go live, or a decision on it, or something. Does anybody know news? Let me know in the live chat. Um, I think today is Trump's ETF for Bitcoin. Um, what did I just buy? I just bought something. Not the world, whatever Trump Jr.'s did. And this is not financial advice. I'm just figuring some things out. And MCGA is up a little bit. Nothing fancy. Doge is up a little bit. Nothing fancy. Oh, ABTC, American Bitcoin Corp. Now I don't know if that's related. That just opened up. Well, 2018 actually, uh, by Trump's kids, his sons. But something happened about it the other day that I bought into it. Not financial advice. ABTC. And it's called American Bitcoin Corporation. And it's shut up. It's not doing good. But it just announced something to employees. They mine their own Bitcoin. I know that much. Um, news, news. I hate Bing. Everybody knows that I hate Bing. I hate ABC too. Okay, see, I shouldn't be research. I should do this research before I go live. But so I don't think something's happening with Trump having an ETF Bitcoin go live. I think today, or a decision on it being made today by the SEC. Um, I don't think it's American Bitcoin, but it could be. It would make sense if it is. GMTG Bitcoin ETF news. That's old. So yeah. So uh, TMTG got approval for a $2.3 billion Bitcoin uh, treasury in June. Prices go way down. Just added $2.3 billion Bitcoin treasury, which could be on the blockchain. I don't know about that. So it could be earning rewards. Price goes down. That's TMTG, right? Yep. Price goes down. Some things are artificially holding this price down. So, because usually when you add $2.3 billion of Bitcoin, that's good news. In TMTG's case, that's really bad news. So that's weird. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they were going to do their own token. I forgot about that, and they went with Crow instead. That's big. That's happening now. So I don't remember. I was just waiting today. The 18th is when something about Trump, Bitcoin ETF, and the SEC ruling goes. I don't like Bing anyways. They give me dumb answers. They think I'm a liberal. I'm like, your answers are dumb. They're like, good for most of our people. Um. So yeah. That's about. Oh, watch this episode. I don't know if you Badlands Media. Has anybody heard of it? It's a great group of people. This show, they do a bunch of shows. This show it's the guy that's it's Patriot Patel, the guy that basically wrote the book on devolution, and great guy. His whole devolution series is outrageous, so good. But this one, they go into uh, Charlie Kirk shooter's family, where Uncle Mike is a recruiter. The shooter's uncle, Uncle Mike, is a recruiter for the Azov Battalion. And those who don't know, the Azov Battalion is the group of Nazis that Russia is fighting in Ukraine. They're Nazis that work for NATO, work for the Nazi world order. The ones that they're the people that CNN and ABC and MSNBC, they have to blur out their insignia. They're all their Nazi insignia on their uniforms and their tanks. And it's swastikas, but it's also like black suns and all this other neo-Nazi stuff. So they have to blur that out when they want to show videos of the war in Ukraine. Those Azov Battalion Nazis, the shooter's uncle is a recruiter for them. He works for Radio Free Press Ukraine or whatever. It's getting really glowy. The story isn't holding up. And there's so many more connections. So I suggest, if whatever side of the aisle you're on, get some damn facts, because the official story is getting really weird. And so these guys, the whole episode's not about that. These guys are great. They're like off the scale 200 IQ intelligence, and they just autistic. One of them, I don't know, whatever. Autistic is like a compliment now if you like to research really hard. And weaponized autism. And these guys go into the trenches and learn some shit. It's such a good episode. I highly suggest it. I'm going to actually listen to it again when I get off. I listened to it this morning. It's like 2 hours long. I'm going to listen to it again today because there's probably 200 things I missed. But yeah, Uncle Mike, the shooter's Uncle Mike, is a recruiter for the Azov Battalion, the Nazi battalion in Western Ukraine. Let's go. Oh yeah, Uncle Mike. Radio Free Ukraine. So yeah, what was this, pre-market? No, yeah, pre-market. Little tremblings in MCGA. Little things happening this morning. Like every morning before, like little tremblings. Like that's behind the news. Pre-quakes before the big earthquake. Because once this deal closes, and where it says Yorkville here, once it starts saying Trump Media Group Crow strategy, that's when the $5 billion from Yali Penn is available. It's not available yet. 2/3 of the funding of the $6.42 billion deal we all talked about, 2/3 of that isn't available yet. Not until they announce it that the business combination is closed, and this where it says Yorkville, because it's still a SPAC right now, a special purpose acquisition corporation, probably. This is corporation, I don't know. It's gonna change to this, and once it does that, $5 billion specifically designed to buy Crow. So that's showing me that's why Crow's staying low. Is that market manipulation? Somehow Crow is not taking off yet with that announcement. Or they already, because what they did with the $1 billion I already covered, because there was $1.42 billion in the strategic partnership. And I showed in another video where it's very obvious to me, because of the amount they bought, of the amount of Crow they bought and the money they spent, you divide that's 15.3 cents. That means they bought it at the same time as the 105 million or thereabouts same time. And if they staked that on the blockchain, which they said they're going to do, they already made 685 million off of that. Like, outrageous. So I'm thinking Yali Penn already bought the Kronos at 15.3%. I'm thinking no evidence. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm speculating. No evidence for this. I think it would be a smart business plan to buy all the Kronos at the same time at the lower price. That would be smart. You would get more. And so I think the $5 billion is already spent. I think Yali Penn's holding it. Once the business deal business combination is closed, 5 billion more Kronos into the treasury. Already made. I can't even do the math on that. Well, what it'd be five times 685. 5 times 685. So it'd be $3.4 billion they already made. If what I'm saying is right, and I have no evidence for this, I'm just saying it'd be smart to do. Yali Penn, who is going to give this $5 billion line of credit, ooh, see, it's a line of credit. Whatever. Let's keep going. Is going to give this $5 billion to Yorkville, which is going to be Trump Media Group, Crow Strategy. Let's just say they already spent it. No evidence. And let's just say they bought Crow at 15.3. Let's say they put that on the blockchain and they're going to transfer it over to Trump Media Group Crow Strategy when the business combination closes. If they did that, $3.4 billion in returns already. And that's at Crow at a low price. That goes infinitely higher if Crow rises. And that makes the ticker price of MCGA go infinitely higher. And that makes the price of DJT, which is Trump Media and Technology Group, which is Trump's Media Group Crow Strategy. All these are related now. It's all circle. That makes that go up infinitely. And TMTG has 2.5 billion of Bitcoin in a treasury. So I mean, even even without a $3.4 billion profit already, like even if they didn't spend that 5 billion yet, and it's an imaginary line of credit waiting for the business combination to close, and they're going to buy in at a higher price and get less Crow, which doesn't make sense. And Trump's the art of the deal, the best deal maker ever. It would make sense to buy it all at the same time at a low price. That's all I'm saying. Let's go. Let's find out. I want that to be true, because then all of a sudden that 5 billion turns to 8.5 billion overnight. And plus the other 1 billion, 9 billion. They're up to 10 billion overnight. Once at the moment they open, they doubled their assets. The moment they open, and that's at Kronos at the current price. They doubled their assets. And they get rewards, which is basically interest, which is more Crow than Crow. It's the infinite money glitch. Look that up if you haven't heard of it. Strategy, Master, MSTR. It used to be MicroStrategy. Now it's called Strategy. Michael Saylor. It's called the infinite money glitch. It's just an infinite feedback loop that feeds money back into itself. And so all that's going, money's being fed back into itself, and the fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note, is crashing, which makes inflation skyrocket, which makes this Kronos worth more. That's a double infinite flywheel, infinite money glitch. Like this is the biggest thing ever to ever happen to currency. And every company and every country around the world is copying Trump's strategy. Trump's doing this for his business. He's doing it for the American people. The government has a Bitcoin treasury now. Countries around the world are starting crypto treasuries. So this time, in the fourth time the Nazi world order tries to crash all the fiat currencies and destroy the world again to depopulate, this time we just stepped off the boat. We just got off the game board. When they flipped the game board this time and all the pieces go everywhere, the last time they flipped the game board was World War II, 80 years ago. So every 80 years is a turning, because that's how long the fiat currency could last before you can't resuscitate it anymore. So, and we're here. This is the fourth turning. We're here. So they're going to flip the game board. That's their plan. That sometime soon, next couple years, whatever, they're going to flip the game board. We just got off the game board. We're over here doing something else. So if they flip the game board this time, those of us who are pro golden age have been being refined and learning and autistically studying and diving into things to where we positioned ourselves to where flipping all the puzzle pieces over or the game board over, we barely notice it. It's just a little breeze. To some people who are out there making fun of public assassinations, they're going to be clueless. They are not going to understand how everyone else knew what was going on and they didn't. And that is very sad. That is very sad. So, do not financial advice. Do what you got to do to get off the game board. That game board will flip. It's happened 3 times already. We killed the Federal Reserve twice. This is the third Federal Reserve. I want Trump for the hat trick. And by killed, I don't mean violence. Absolutely not violence. We don't need it. We're off. The game they're trying to flip is violence. They want world violence. They want race wars. They want, blood in the streets. We're done with that game. Done with it. Not exciting, not fun. Don't want to watch it on the news. I don't want to consume content that makes me angry so I could go out and be angry and throw bricks through windows. Not that type of person. We're off the game board. Let's go. So we don't need that. I guess that's 764 is becoming popular. They can't hide anymore. Lights being shined on them. Evil people. Evil. Dark. The same people that are funding 764, which is a global network of predators on computers who get young girls to harm themselves and kill themselves. Evil. They're the same people that are driving Trump Technology and Media Group down. They're the same people that deliver pallets of bricks to where Antifa's going to riot. It's all the same people. It's all the same money. It's RICO. It's terrorism and lights being shined on it. That's our duty. Shine the light on evil. And we got names. We got places. We got the dollar amounts. We got the NGOs. We got all the organizations. They are known now by name. We got the money trail. We got the terrorist organizations, the foot soldiers. It's all identified. So protect yourself, protect your wealth, get off the game board, get out of the boat. They will sink the boat. The boat is sinking and they will continue to sink it. The fiat currency will go to zero. Inflation will go to infinity. Get off the game board. Get out of the game. Let's go. All right, my friends. So this is just like a no breaking news, just a recap basically of where we're at. This is exciting. The ETFs are exciting. Keep an ear out for Trump's Bitcoin ETF. I haven't seen any news on it yet. It was something about it was supposed to happen today. An announcement is supposed to go through, or it's supposed to get okayed by the SEC, or something was supposed to happen. Let's figure it out. I need more information. I have questions. Thanks for tuning in. I got 5 peeps in here. Thanks about mostly on Rumble. I got 1 Twitch. Welcome. I got 1 True Social, or what is that? Locals. Dave Rubin. My dude, it's probably Dave Rubin listening. I'll bet you. That's a cool guy. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. If any breaking news happens, I'll absolutely start another video. But I have plans to do videos every couple days. But right now we're in a holding pattern. It's just no news right now. So keep an eye on Chronos. Keep an eye on TMTG. Keep an eye on MCGA. They give MCGA.com. They give announcements down here. Last one was 8 days ago. No news. But this one, the September 10th, Let me actually throw that in the chat. You can type it in yourself. I know you can. So this is uh, I was researching for weeks, digging and scouring in the dirtiest, darkest places to try to find information. And I put my story together, my speculations, my facts, put it all together. And then a couple of days after I got it all done and I was confident I was right, they came out with this and it just spills the beans. I was right about a lot of things. There's still some questions I have, like why on the X22 report did Devin Nunes call Google and Apple the overlords, and TMTG is waiting on the overlords at Google and Apple to come to some decisions uh, for this deal to go through. I don't know what he was talking about, the strategic partnership or the business combination. One of those is waiting on Google and Apple to make decisions, the overlords. Because he said, and in another part, he said it twice. And then in another part in the interview, go watch that interview, X22 on Rumble. Those of you on Twitch that might not have Rumble, get Rumble. And we'll get the X22 report. Get True Social. Get off the game board. Get some reality. Get off the game board. Become ethical and moral. Not saying you're not. Just do it. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's a process to unbrainwash yourself. You have to unbrainwash yourself every day. If you mow your lawn once, you're not done mowing your lawn. You got to mow it next time and the next time and the next time. It's a pattern. It's a pursuit of happiness, a pursuit of morality. Ask the questions. All right. That's it, my friends. I think someone just joined and I'm sorry. I'm going to cut it. Thank you for joining, though. God, love you guys. Let's go. Let's get this golden age started. It's up to us. What do you want? I want a golden age. You have to be a certain type of person to have a golden age. Moral, ethical. I told you I'm not religious, but I was raised. That's how I know so much about brainwash, because I was brainwashed in religion when I was younger. I could out preach just about any preacher you got, man. I got the Strong's Concordance. I got the King James Version Bible. I got 5 different versions of the Bible. I know what the words actually mean in Hebrew. Like, I could out teach just about any pastor you got. I used that brainwashing experience, trauma-based mind control, to explain the current trauma-based mind control. And it actually gave me an immunity. I'm not perpetually immune. I still have to, I hate to take my boosters, I hate using that as an analogy, but I still have to, religion, gird up the loins of your mind. You have to every day practice. It's a pursuit. It's a marathon. It's training. It's not one and done. If you do one and done, you'll end up on the streets with blue hair, no penis, and with a brick in your hand, throwing it through a glass window, or with a all in black bloc, which is what Antifa calls their with how they dress. You'll end up in black bloc with a mask on, throwing bricks through windows. They have not tried to fight brainwashing hard enough. That's all there is to that. But all right, I love you, my friends. Stay strong, and I'll catch you next time. If there's any breaking news, I'll be back on. Even if it's like right when I hang up this, something comes out, I'll be right back on. A couple days, I'll be right back on. If it's like 3 or 4 days, I'll probably just shoot a video, but it'll be a lot like this one. Like, I don't know, nothing's happening. But we're documenting history right now. This is how the golden age started. We are here. The best time in history, in the best country in history. Let's go. All right. I'm going to go. Love you guys.